Hey everyone, welcome to our Sunday night Zoom. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for everyone who's listening to the recording who could not make it live. Just so you know, you can put this on your calendar. It's every Sunday evening at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We gather and different coaches from different challenge groups come in and give tips and feedback and things to help you prepare for your holiday. So before we kick into tonight's topic, though, we wanted to share a little bit about, there's so many different gifts and tools and products that are available that to give it all to you at once would be like exploding Black Friday on your face. Like if you've been on social media lately, I feel like you go anywhere, it's like boom, boom, boom. Have y'all felt that way? I've never wanted to shop so much in my life and now also shut my phone off forever. But anyway, so each Sunday though, what we do want to do is share with you some of the things that are in the library, our catalog. Wait a minute. Where'd everybody go? Sorry, my screen just went into something funny. That we use so that you know, because you might already have a product you're getting at like Costco or Kroger or whatever that Beachbody makes a brand of that's very good and has good ingredients and good quality, or something that could enhance your journey. So when we share these things, that's kind of our intention. So when someone's talking about it, if it sounds like something that you would like to add, then just start that conversation with your coach, and that way they can help you make a good decision if this is something that you should add into your toolkit. So Sarah is going to talk tonight about digestive boost, which was like my dream of no longer needing this wonderfully disgusting thing called Metamucil.
Yeah, what a brilliant introduction. That's so fabulous. Hey guys, I'm Sarah Kroger. I'm another one of the coaches on our bigger team. Welcome to our call. And I wanted to talk about one of honestly my favorite things, and I put it in my Shakeology every day. We've talked about Power Greens before, and there are 3 boosts that come along with your Shakeology. And I guess you could put them in something else, but I put them in my Shakeology. This one is called Digestive Health. It is basically, it's basically extra fiber, really is what it comes down to. But I gotta tell you, I guess it doesn't bother me to talk about digestive things anymore, but I know that not everybody is used to hearing me talk about it all the time. But the benefit of this is really basically the best bowel movement you've ever had in your entire life. It kind of, if you need to go one way, it sends you that way, and if you need to go the other way, it sends you the other way. So it really is a good balancer. I know that sounds so strange, but I really do like it. And I will tell you, it does make my shake a little thicker. That's one thing that people always ask, like, does it change the taste or anything like that? I've used Power Greens, and I feel like that doesn't really change the taste or texture of my shake. I was kind of surprised. But this one does not change the taste, but it does make it a little thicker. So if I make mine with ice and my Shakeology and some of this, it gets to more like a Wendy's Frosty consistency, which is actually kind of nice. I kind of like that. But if you like your shake to be thin and watery, you're probably going to want to add more liquid if you use this. But I think it's a good thing to consider, especially if your digestion is a source of struggle for you. It's not necessarily, it's not necessarily something that's going to combat specific digestive problems, but I've noticed one thing that it does do is help me whichever direction I need to go because of the soluble fiber that's in it. The only other thing I wanted to plug, because we talked about Beach Bars a couple weeks ago as an awesome snack that I still can't believe only has 6 grams of sugar in it. But there is a new flavor of Beach Bars coming tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? It's this week. It's in 3 days. It's on the 3rd. Okay. I knew it was this week. I couldn't remember which day. And it's a dairy-free option. And so all of the people who have been lamenting the fact that the current flavors of Beach Bars have whey in them are super excited. It's gluten-free and dairy-free. So the current 2 flavors that are out are gluten-free, but they are not dairy-free. And this new one that's coming out, this Almond Crunch, is dairy-free. And I'm pretty excited about that. So That's all I got for you guys.
Thank you. And it is better. I love that you shared that. And I think it's funny, and I'm going to let Angie go because she's going to lead us tonight. But it's when you start eating healthier and you start adding things like Shakeology and stuff, it is going to affect like your whole digestive process. And so it's okay to talk to your coach about that. Like if you've ever wondered, like, I don't know if I should tell them, because like I know for me, when I first started, IBS was a huge issue I had. Shakeology's done numbers with that to help. But then
when you first start, it can kind of clean you out. When you first start with Shakeology, it can kind of, there's some stuff in it that can kind of clean you out. And sometimes that freaks people out, but it's not making you sick. It's actually clearing out your system and making it so that you can actually absorb all of those nutrients that are in it.
And that's what the digestive boost, like my functional medicine doctor had me on something comparable to it. And so now when I re-add it in, that's what I use. It's to help increase like your absorption too in your intestines, which is super good. And I'm really excited about beach bars because I can't have whey. So I'm excited about the plant-based ones, but enough about poop. Angie, it's all you, girl.
Great. That's a great intro too. Thanks, love. Okay. So my name is Angie Bradley and I am one of the coaches on this team. And I woke up this morning and was ready to, I don't know. I woke up this morning at December 1st and realized that I was not where I wanted to be. And I don't know if anybody else has woken up that way and felt like, okay, this is not the person I'm expecting to be. This is not who I want to be. This is not the prayer life I want to lead. This is not the weight I want to be or the fitness level I'd like to be. And so before I even got out of bed, I decided that this was going to be my month. It's a hard month to pick probably because it's December and it's cookies and Christmas and Advent and all kinds of feast days that we celebrate in my house. But here, go that way. But that's okay because it doesn't matter. There's never going to be a good time. And that's what I decided when I got up this morning was there's never going to be the perfect time. There's always going to be a birthday or a holiday or a outdoor party or swimming or something. There's always going to be something. So I just had to pick. And so I picked today to decide that I was going to take better care of myself and take better control of my life. And so I'm going to kind of go through a little bit about what I'm doing this month so that if you guys want to talk to your coach about it, or if you want to join in, or if you want to kind of double down or get really serious about your fitness or your nutrition, that you're not alone. This is when I'm doing this because I need to make this work. I need my work to work. I need my business to work. I need my everything to be working. So I sat down with my husband and I told him I was going to be a crank this month probably, and that he was just going to have to deal with that. There was going to be very little or no drinking actually, and we were going to do all kinds of other stuff, and I was going to exercise more. He was like, I like boring. Great. Okay. So for a couple months, or at least for this month, we're going to do this together. So my tips, my list of the things that I did. I figured out number one, I figured out what I wanted to have my end goal be. So my end goal is that my goal is to lose 20 pounds in 31 days. So before the end of this, so this is going to be my sober Advent. Good. It's not just me, it's your pastor too. Figure out what your goal is going to be and what it's going to take to get there. Now, I'm not doing something like some crash diet. I'm going to follow the containers. Here's the thing. I always say I follow the containers and then I run through the kitchen and grab a handful of chips. And I follow the containers and I have an extra tablespoon of peanut butter and I have all of the little things all day long. And I'm not disciplined. And it's eye-opening to me when I think, oh, those are not in the containers. And so I'm going to follow the containers for 30 days. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. So just so you know, I'm not like doing some crazy thing. I'm not going to drink alcohol, and I'm going to follow the nutrition plan that I'm actually saying that I'm following. I'm going to actually do it. That's That's the first thing. Okay. And then I needed to figure out what some of my stumbling blocks were, because what happens is I'm awesome until 9 p.m. And then I'm like, party time. Everything goes out the window. I drink and I eat chips and I stay up late and I don't do what I'm supposed to do. It's like, it's a bad scene. Well, it's a fun scene, but it's a bad scene for me to feel like I want to feel. It's for me to be the person I'm hoping to be. So my first stumbling block is I'm going to start going to bed at 9 p.m. So this has actually got to wrap up, and I'm going right to bed because I have to go to bed early so that I can get up early. But I also needed to kind of figure out what my relationship with food was, because when I have a really good day, I want to eat. When I have, when I lose a couple pounds, I'm like, great, I can have a little more food. When I don't lose weight, I get upset and I have more food. Or I want to have a drink, or something happens, or my husband has a bad day at work and he wants to come home and have a drink or some food or something. And I have to put the kibosh on all that, but I also need to do a little bit of work kind of with myself and journaling this month on what is triggering all of these things, because I don't have, my mindset work. So why am I doing these things, and how is this affecting who I want to be and who God's calling me to be? Because this is not it. I mean, I'm okay, but there's so much more that we could be and do. Okay, so this month is my month to kind of figure out my relationship with food, because it's never been a huge deal to me. I've always been able to kind of keep the weight under control, but, sorry, my thing unplugged from my computer. It does a water sound. All right. So that's number 2, is trying to figure out my relationship with food and my stumbling blocks during the month of what I'm going to be doing. Does that mean I'm not going to be able to have cookies? Probably, but that's okay, because it's just a month. It's not forever. It's until I get my handle on this, because this is not going to go on forever. I will figure this out. And then once I have a little bit more discipline, I'll be able to pick and choose a little bit more carefully, rather than kind of as I walk through the kitchen grabbing stuff. So sometimes you have to double down or get more serious for a little bit of time before you can let loose a little bit, because then you have better control over what you're doing. Yeah, just for a season. So Advent or Lent sometimes is when people would do this. I just picked December. So it'll be Advent for me. So let's see. Now, for me with my meal plan, I am going to be planning to go to holiday parties still, but I had to figure out what I would say to people when I went to the holiday party, because I don't want to go to the holiday party and be like, oh, you made all this food, and then have them feel bad or make me feel bad that I'm not eating whatever food they've made or whatever special treats there are there. So I have to figure out what I'm going to say to those people. So, because this is my life. I don't get to be guilted into eating whatever somebody else picks for me. This is me. I get to do my thing. You can do your thing. They can do their thing. I get to do mine. So nobody's going to be like, oh, but I made these chocolate chip cookies special for you. Thank you so much for thinking of me. I am not focused on that right now. I'm going to be doing this other thing for a month. I'm not sorry. This is not something to apologize for. I'm taking care of myself. So will people care? And will some of your people around you maybe say something negative? Yep. Your mom might, your kids might, your husband might, your friends might. They don't want you to change. They want you to stay the same, because that's what they know. They know who you are now and what you're like. And if you change, what would happen? Like, what could possibly happen? You could end up being, they might think you'll leave them, or you'll be better than them, or that you won't want them around. And that's not the case, but you will change a little bit, because you will have learned to be more disciplined. So it's important to know that you might get some pushback, and be ready to talk about that with people. So you might say, I'm not going to be eating that right now, but thank you for making it. I'm training for whatever you're doing, or it doesn't fit into my meal plan, or I'm training for a race, or pick a race and just sign up for it so you can say that. Who cares? Sign up for a 5K and say, I can't eat that right now. I'm training for a race. You don't even have to run it. I don't care. Just give yourself something to be able to say to people so that you have an out and you don't have to feel bad about it, because this is nothing to feel bad about. Taking control of your nutrition, your life, your prayer life, all those things, nothing to be upset about and nothing to be sorry about. Okay, let's see. So you need to have your thing that you're going to say with people when you go to the party or the event or the whatever, homeschool cookie exchange, whatever it is you have to go to. So if you think of it like this, I was reading a book and they talk about it in the book, and the guy says, there are two ways to say no. You can say, no, I don't do that, or you can just say, no, thanks. And if you say, no, I don't do that, so like say I offer you a cigarette. If you say, I'm not a smoker, you're going to get less pushback from people than if you say, no, thanks, not right now. So I don't eat that. Or when I asked Kelly if she wants to have a glass of milk, she's like, I can't drink milk. I'm not upset with her that she can't drink milk. She just doesn't. So figure out a way to make it so that your family members or the people you hang out with are going to be accepting and not give you as much pushback. And you can tell them it's just for a season because I'm trying something out. You don't have to tell them it's forever. Okay. So, and if you cultivate this discipline now, you'll be able to ease up later. And then the last thing is to share it with everybody else around you. I actually shared it on Facebook, which about made me want to throw up. But I have a headache now. I did that, and then like 3 minutes later, a headache. I think that's why I have a headache. So share it with others. I've never shared something like that on Facebook before because I don't want to have people see me fail. But I did it anyway because I want to succeed. And so this is how I'm making it so I succeed, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'm doing all the things I can think to do to make it successful. I shared it this morning with some other coaches, and then I shared it on Facebook so that other people in my life come up to me and they'll say, how's that going? And I'll be like, oh, shoot. So I shared it on Facebook because I shared a post a couple months ago and people still come up to me and ask me about that post. Like, oh, so hopefully they won't do that on this. So because I'm planning and I'm trying to be more disciplined. So I had to talk to my husband about it. I talked to some of my kids about it. I talked to one of my kids that works out with me. I said, I might have to work at a different time or do different stuff, or I need to organize my schedule so that I can be very successful because this is important to me. So, because I don't want to be stuck in this same place next December. Because I was in this exact place last December, and when I woke up today, I was so frustrated with myself. And rather than getting down on myself, rather than throwing in the towel, I doubled down. So I'm gonna, this is what we're doing for December. Or this is what I'm doing for December. And if you feel like you're frustrated or stuck, there's a way out. It just takes the discipline and the support from other people. And that's what your groups are for. That's what we're here for. We are here to link arms with you and to help you and to walk with you, because it's not easy being in this position, and it's not easy being in anybody else in any of the positions. So we want you to do this with us because it's vital, because you can do it. It's not like, oh, I can do it because I'm who I am. No, I've got crazy life all around me, just like we all do. Everybody lives kind of like to their maximum limit. So it's not like we all have extra time and we're just like, oh, I wonder what I should do today. Maybe a workout, maybe not. No, we're all right up to the top. But you can do it if you link arms with the coach you have, and the people in your group will provide you support, and you will probably inspire people all along the way if you share your journey. So that's what I have for you tonight.
That was so awesome.
I'd be like, did someone just applaud in your house?
Somebody should applaud. That was
Bam.
awesome. Can I say something before you go? Since I'm like currently not coughing. I love this. And one of my favorite things about our team is when somebody gets all fired up, because it lights a fire under the rest of us. And so like, I promise I couldn't talk for a very long time if I wanted to, because I've got this cough still, but like Megan Kaufman shared something earlier last week she was all fired up about, and that got all of us all fired up, and then Angie got all fired up, and that gets us all fired up. And I think that this is just, it's an extension of what we talked about heading into Thanksgiving. It's just the next level of pre-ciding what you're going to do. You're just pre-ciding. You're just deciding ahead of time what winning is for you. And there's still room for you to have peace about your decision in your season, because you don't have to pre-cide the same thing that I pre-cide. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be what I'm doing or what Angie's doing or whatever. We all get excited and we're like, well, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. I want to do exactly what she's doing. But you know what? You can, and that's good when someone says something that they're excited about. But the reason she's doing what she's doing, if you listen, and if you missed this, go back and listen to it again and listen to how much she talked about her mindset and how she was feeling and what she wanted and where she wanted to go. And so that's where you have to start, and then you go backwards. So she led with what her end goal was, but that's not where she started. That's just what she told us first. Where she started was working through that mindset and deciding what was important to her, and that starting with, she woke up today feeling like she wasn't where she wanted to be. And so what you need to do is figure out where you want to be and work backwards. Now, following your program as written is always bonus, like that's how they work. But the one thing that I wanted to say that I've been really thinking about that has been my way of dialing in is making non-treat days really super focused days. And so if it's not a treat, meaning that it's something that I've either been really looking forward to all year, or something that's a total 10 for me, or an opportunity for fellowship, I don't need to be having cookies sitting by myself watching TV in the evening. That's not a treat time. That's a bad habit. It's not fellowship. It's not sharing an experience. I'm not passing down a family recipe to my children. There's no specialness about it. So whether you are dialing in and saying, look, I need to really measure every bite because that's the way my program teaches it, and I need that right now, tell someone, and we support that. And we will help hold you accountable to that and cheer you on 100%. If you need to have some room for the enjoyment of the season, then make sure that you're not using the excuse of the season to turn these treats into sliding bad habits. So that's my soapbox. Angie gets me all fired up.
I love it. We were talking earlier today, and I was just going to chime in a couple tips to kind of build upon what both of them have said. So I don't know if you travel a lot during the holidays, or if you do go around family where you don't always have control about the menu, and you have, goals that you're setting or food sensitivities. Do you have a couple things that are helping me that I wanted to share when you have goals? Like for me, Angie and I text each other sometimes for accountability, added accountability and stuff. And it helps me because I do have some habits. Like we were talking today about vulnerability and like food logging. Like I have fallen, I don't consistently food log. And when I don't consistently food log, I have some like wonderful habits of not celebrating, but enjoying plantain chips or cassava chips or whatever healthy options that you're more like thinking that's not bad, but it is when it's a whole bag by yourself in the evening, every evening, But a couple of things, if you travel or if it's a holiday season, I'm just going to give 3 tips. The first thing is when you're traveling, look at the day and decide, or like Sarah said, pre-cide, what can you control and what are the parts of the menu that you have influence over. So for example, this weekend I'm going to be out of town for my brother's wedding, and there are certain meals like the rehearsal brunch and the wedding food that I don't have 100% control over. Like I have no idea what's on the menu, but I can control so we have this granola that we like to have for breakfast that we're bringing to have for breakfast. And then I do have my shake that I could sub in for a meal, whether it's having it for lunch or having it for dinner, whenever something's not being served, or as a snack, or to hold me over on my way. Like I can plan those tools. Or at my parents' house, when they're cooking a meal, I always offer to make a salad, because then I have kind of control over that, and I can have something that's healthy that's for me. And I also travel with a bag of pumpkin seeds in my purse, because it's a healthy protein that I can toss on a salad if they're having fried chicken. So you can pre-decide like simple things like your shake or a healthy granola or oatmeal or whatever. Look at the recipes that you have in your program. There's overnight oats. There's things that are like, Beachbody has a whole like library of menus of things that are not hard to travel with. And make the decision that I'm going to do these things as best I can, and I'm going to give myself grace with the other things. And the confidence you gain from making that decision, I guarantee will help you not like derail yourself with the things you don't have control over. The other thing is like taking the time to, if you have a favorite dessert at Christmas, find something you can make that is comparable to your goals, that will make you feel satisfied instead of completely depriving yourself. I'm a huge pumpkin pie fan. And so I found one that I could make this year that didn't have eggs in it, because I cannot have eggs. Like I've had things with eggs in the last few weeks and had to decide me and eggs are breaking up, because I have a food intolerance, but I didn't want to feel deprived from dessert. So this was something I was able to find that I could have. And there are so many things nowadays that actually do taste good. Like a long time ago, if you told me you could make things taste good from cauliflower, I would have laughed at you. But y'all, there's a lot of really good things made from cauliflower nowadays. So if there's something that you find that this season you really enjoy, take the time to like do a little investigative work, check out the meal plans, check out the Beachbody blog, and try a recipe that will give you that treat feeling. Like Megan had shared about like the Shakeology pumpkin spice or the peppermint mocha like truffles you can make, kind of like energy bites, like something that's gonna, because you don't want to feel like you're depriving yourself. So that's number 2. And then the third thing is find a way to celebrate yourself when you conquer the things you thought you never could. Like if you go to a wedding and you used to have a struggle with whatever was being served or cake or whatever, having too many beverages, and you go to a wedding and you don't have an adult drink or you don't have cake because that's your goal, go in your challenge group and say it so you can celebrate it. It's not small, it's big. Angie's like fired up and digging into stuff, and I'm going to send her like happy Carlton dancing gifs like every day. Like you need to celebrate the little things that you think are ridiculous. They're not. And they're getting you closer to where you want to be. They're why you're here. And so, yes, the first 2 are more practical tips, but the third is give yourself credit, because I think we can only give ourselves credit at the goal line, but we need to do it along the way. So,
I set up rewards for myself after every couple pounds.
I love that.
And I set up rewards for my husband if he doesn't derail me during the month, because he's the one who's like, we should have a drink. So I set up rewards for him if he's like, now we just need to go to bed.
That's so good though. That's so good.
It got him involved. It got me, I'm getting supported by, treats for him, like whatever.
I love it. But just lean into the groups. Like this is the time of year a lot of times where people fall off from posting in their groups because they're busy, but let that be your time of your little people rallying around you to give you high fives and props for the things you're doing well, that your family might joke about or make the comment about. Because if they do, it's fine. That's where they're at. Like whatever, you know what I mean? But
the groups are a safe place. Like you can do that, and nobody's gonna put you down because you lost 5 pounds and they only lost 1.
Yeah.
That's why we all have different goals. So what one person does is going to be completely different from someone else's. That's why I say my goals, but at the same time, you have to figure what your goals would be. You have to figure out what you're willing to do. Like this month, I'm willing to go all in, no treats. but usually I wouldn't be. But I have peppermint mocha Shakeology I can make into little thingies that are going to be better than
It is so good.
the wagon.
Oh my gosh. My daughter drank it the other day and I was like, what kind do you have? And she said peppermint mocha. I was like, all of it.
You have to hide it.
She's like, okay, Mom. So I just ordered another box. I'm like, sorry. This was awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for sharing, Sarah, about the digestive boost. And Angie, this was good. I was excited when you even talked to me about this today because I don't know. I think this is where people get the advantage this time of year to actually feel good in your skin and feel good while going through the holidays and not having all the food shame that can pop up. You know what I mean? It is really good. The peppermint mocha. I know it's in a league of its own. So for those of you listening, you're like, what are they pausing for? It's because there's a chat, which is why it's kind of fun to hop on live because you can see the chat feature. But thank you guys for being here. So Angie, you want to close us in prayer? No. Okay. Just being honest. Okay. I will close this in prayer. My friend's being silly, Mom. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for Angie and just her boldness tonight to share her goals, Lord. And we know that she is going to have an amazing month and she's going to not only feel good in her journey that's going to inspire her as she heads into a new year, but it's going to trickle down and ripple into the lives of the challengers she's working with, the people that she talks to, her family, her marriage, and all of us who are on the team with her. And we're just so grateful for her boldness to share tonight. Lord, we just pray for all of the challengers in our groups that are here tonight and those that are listening, as well as those that will be joining us to finish the year strong, that we can be a support to one another, that we can be a light to one another, a place of comfort, and also a place where we challenge one another to rise above the daily little temptations to fall away, to think that our choices don't matter, to think that it is what it is, and to just abandon that mentality, God. I ask that you would just give us unity in our challenge groups, that you would stir up encouragement, friendship, and deep community. And I give you thanks for this amazing team of coaches I get to work alongside with in our journeys. We pray all these things in your most holy name. Amen. Thanks, everybody. Good night.